Hi there, very good day to you. Today's topic is about the reflective practice and the influence of reflective practice in behavioral context, in behavioral development or behavioral change. Now, what is the meaning of behavior? That is what the first message we have to look into. Okay, a behavior is a way. It is a practice, a personal, an animal, even some objects, okay? The way they act to respond to some particular change in the environment, okay? So let's say, if you at home, if you shout at your kid, okay, how do they behave? Do they shout back at you in response to something happens? So that is about the behavior, okay? But if you call someone, the way they answer your phone, it is a behavior. If you see a book, right? If you leave a book on the table, if you see a book, what do? You pick the book, you open the book, and you read. It is a behavior. So what you would do if you see something around, if something happens around you, what you would do is what the behavior is about. So that is permanent. You may alter this behavior using different techniques, using a different psychological approaches, so we can change the behaviors. Now, drinking alcohol is a behavior, okay? If you look at someone, smiling at them is a behavior. If you look at some others, getting angry with them, feel fury about them, it's a behavior, okay? If someone gets something, if you feel happy about it, it is a behavior. So whatever that happens, and the way you look into, the way you react to that one is what we call behaviors. Like alcohol consumption is a behavior. Drug addiction is a behavior. Smoking is a behavior. Okay. Sleeping too many hours, it's a kind of behavior. If you see some book, reading that book, that's behavior. Going for a walk regularly, going for jogging, it's a behavior. So this is what behavior is about. Okay, now the question is the influence of reflective practice in behavior. Okay, so this is limited to the behaviors that is connected to teaching. Okay, so when we teach, teaching is a behavior. Teachers, they continuously learn, it is a behavior. They continuously add things onto their lectures, it is a behavior. Some teachers, they always have the teaching pattern which is about storytelling, it is a behavior. Some teachers, they always sit down in the table and they teach, it is a behavior. Some teachers, they never write on the whiteboard, they always need the PowerPoint presentation, the projector, that is their behavior. They usually use video clips to display, it is their behavior. Every time they teach one subject, they bring in the same example, it is a behavior. Some other lecturers, when they teach one thing, if they want to teach the same thing again, they never use the same context, they bring in different examples, different contexts, different content for that to teach. It's a behavior, okay? So behavior is connected to your improvement of teaching, improvement of learning, right? So what happens to you when you have the impact of reflective practice in your behavior? Let's see what happens. Number one, promotes self-awareness. So what is about this? If you apply this reflective practice, it will develop a behavior that you feel always to promote yourself, okay? Meaning you get yourself better than what you were before. You may be doing some teaching, and if you apply this there, it will develop a behavior that you need to improve your teaching for the next session or lesson. This is behavior. So it promotes about you all the times, and it will make self-awareness about you as well. You always understand your level, self-awareness. You know where you are weak at. You know where you are strong at. You know where your opportunities are sitting around. So you would always look into your status, your level of teaching, your quality of teaching, your qualification of teaching, your behaviors of teaching, so that you improve yourself. So this practice, reflective practice, may make you to know about yourself all the time. You all the time think about you. I want to improve myself. I want to get better result for my students in the next exams. I want to bring in new examples. I want to bring in new questions. Then that is promoting yourself. So this reflective practice may allow you to develop a behavior that you improve yourself. The next influence is this encourages adaptive teaching. Now, what is the meaning of adaptive teaching? Adoption means you adopt new things. Okay, you don't teach what you really know. You always adapt new things to your teaching content, new message for your teaching. Then you teach. Okay, right. This is another behavior. For example, if you qualify from a university learning some subject, you might have the notes of it. You might have the teaching material of the subject that you learned. If you teach that subject as it is not reflection. It is not going to go beyond the quality of it. It is an older material now because you completed your degree 2 years, 3 years ago. So if you want to teach the same subject, same topic, you have to adopt some new ideas, new technology, new materials, new video clips, new message, new examples. Everything is new. So you have to adapt it. You never use the same teaching material for you or for your students. You always adapt it. So I do sometimes when I teach one subject this year and I have a material. Next year, when I teach that subject, I will be changing almost 50-60% of it. So that is adaptive teaching. This behavior is an influence of reflection because you reflect, you don't bring in new technology or new material to teach. It's because you want to. When you reflect on it, you realize the message I delivered yesterday is not good enough. You have a better message for tomorrow's lesson. Then you bring it, adapt that message. Okay, so this is again an influence on your behavior because of reflection. So reflection may encourage you, may develop a behavior to adapt new messages, new ways, new technologies to teach. Okay. Enhances emotional intelligence. Again, absolutely. Students, teachers are emotionally responsible for their personal growth and for their students as well. Okay, so it is not about just go there and teach what you think or what you have. No, you have to emotionally attach yourself to what you teach, and you have to have some emotional attachment to your students as well, so that you deliver the things purely from your heart. You just go there, deliver something that you have. No, you go there, you want your students to learn good. They have to perform good in life. They have to get good results. So you work emotionally with your preparation, with your content development, with your delivery, with your examples. Then you deliver it to your students because your emotion says that I want to purely consider the benefit of my students, so that you deliver it that way. So this reflection will give you more room, will give you more easy contexts to develop your material to teach them. So that is again another behavior. You deal with people with a full heart, emotional touch. So this is a behavior. Okay, some others, they just laugh at you, but they're not laughing internally. There is no inner laugh. Okay, so there's no emotional touch. It's just a physical touch. So as a behavior. And professional responsibility. Okay, that is again, you are a teacher. That is a great profession, and you have to be responsible for your profession. Okay, you have to be professionally responsible of what you're doing. So what you do, the ethical teaching. What is the meaning of ethical teaching? You teach what is right. You teach what is needed. You teach what is current. You don't teach what you learned. You teach because you learned something yesterday. You learn and teach, right? Always it is advised, don't learn from a educated person. Learn from a person who educates himself on a daily basis, because he would be giving you the currency of your education, the current material. So this is your responsibility. Okay. giving quality education, giving the right example, using the latest technology. You cannot use the older technologies to teach. It is your responsibility to find out what technology is in the market to teach students, what materials are in the market, what subjects are in the market, what are the contents to be taught, right? Let's say if you're teaching some IT subject, you may need to know the latest programming language, the latest technology, the latest code writing strategies, the latest AI connected to what you teach. Otherwise, you would not be professionally responsible of what you are teaching. You teach something when the students learn from you. When they go out, when they want to apply for a job, the job market may require them to know certain different brand new things these students were not taught. That is why you have to always upgrade yourself. You have to always update yourself in terms of your teaching material. That is your professional responsibility. This reflective practice will develop a behavior to make yourself professionally responsible. Okay, so that is what it means. Okay, so this is again another behavior. Let's see some more. That improves the student learning outcome as well. So this is again another behavior that these educators always encourage students. Okay, they don't just go there, teach and come out. They tell the students, I'm learning, I'm bringing in new ideas, I'm trying to bring in new latest technology, latest content, latest topics for your education. You also should commit yourself and you always learn and get better learning outcomes. So that will develop a behavior for students as well as the teachers to get more, the maximum out of what they teach and what they learn. Okay, so that is again another behavior. And this reflective practice support collaborative learning culture. Collaborative learning culture is a practice, is a behavior. Okay. What is the meaning of collaborative learning culture? It's about you don't learn on your own. You are not learning things in isolation. You will have your learning study buddy, we call it. Okay, you have another personal, at least, or maybe 2-3 people together. You learn together. When you learn something at home alone, if you have some problem, you may call one of your friends and they collaborate with you. They give some ideas about what you are learning. Okay, so you may have a WhatsApp group where you have the experts on the topic that you learn. So what you do, if you have some question, if you don't understand, if you don't have any answers, you post the question in that group. They answer the question. People whom they are comfortable with the topic, they may answer you. Using that answers, you will learn. So this is what collaborative learning is about. So when you reflect on yourself, you will get new questions. You will have confusions. You will have blurred areas. You will have gray areas that you don't have the clear answer for them. So what you do, you collaborate with the others and you become a collaborative learner. You learn in groups, you learn in teams, you socially learn, you learn with the others, social learning. These are all behaviors we develop, right? Earlier days, we used to study alone, sitting in a room. We don't have any IT facilities, no computers, no iPhones or no iPads. We just turn the books and you take some notes and study. That was the earlier behavior. Today's behavior is when you're learning, you have your iPad, you have your phone, you have your Wi-Fi on, you have your laptop on, you have 2-3 pages of notes taking book, and that's it. You don't have any books in your table. Everything comes from internet. This is a new behavior, right? So this is again another part of it. Okay, the learning pattern, the learning technology, the learning environment is a role changing because of reflection. When you reflect, you need to learn more. You cannot use your previous material. You need more materials now. You don't need you can't use your previous notes. You need more message to your one. So you have to keep yourself learning. Okay, so you develop a culture here that learns that you learn from collaboration with the others. Okay, so you collaborate with people, you collaborate with technology, collaborate with internet, AI technology, whatever. Okay, so these are the behaviors. So in your assignment, there are questions that you need to answer where you have to explain the behaviors that influenced by reflective practice. When you reflect in what you have learned to improve yourself, you will develop certain behaviors. Okay, that is what we have to discuss. Right. So I think you got the message. Thank you very much for joining me. I see you later in next session. Have a good day.